Welcome to the Imperium Forex daily video. Before we begin, it should be noted that any advice is of a general nature only and that your personal circumstances have not been taken into consideration. Hello everyone, my name is Rob Clayton and thank you very much for joining me. To open today's webinar, the Australian dollar focus has shifted from that 80-cent handle after the upside challenge quickly diminishes against the US dollar and fails to take out the 80.35 resistance, but instead clearly rejected this level and now looks down towards the support that comes in at 78.60.70 after the price action overnight took out the support at 79.50. Today the RBA is to release the minutes of the September board meeting. However, no sudden surprises are likely from the minutes. I still expect to see the bearish implications continue, with immediate support holding at 79.30 and resistance holding at 79.85 and firm above of yesterday's cap around 80.35. The euro failed to make any significant moves overnight, with the lackluster session ended the New York close unchanged and a little bit mixed in terms of intraday direction. It is unlikely the market will make any sudden moves until the FOMC decision this week on Thursday at 4 AM Sydney time, and alongside President Mario Draghi, who is to make two speeches this week. The Fed is widely expected to announce the plan to unwind its $4.5 trillion balance sheet. Along with Fed Chairwoman Janet Yellen, the press conference will be carefully looked upon for any hints to a December rate hike. Last week, the upbeat CPI number of 0.4% did actually inspire the market to look from a 30% chance of a hike to a 55% chance. The Fed has penciled in 3 rate hikes for this year and has already lifted rates twice by 25 basis points. What also may inspire the US dollar is the fact that there is more news to come from the US regarding tax reform, as the Republicans are preparing to publish the framework for the weeks of November the 25th. Later today, US President Trump will address the United Nations in New York and also will speak about the tension in North Korea, as it will give him the opportunity to confront North Korea representatives face to face. With the resistance capping around 119.80.90, I do expect to, as I say, look towards 118.80, with the uptrend coming in at 117.95.05, which could, in the short term, find a base for the euro. Overnight, the dollar yen posted further gains after inheriting the bullish movement from Friday, with some politics and central bank events this week. Traders will be very wary as the market rises towards this level of 111.75.85. It is viewed from a technical point that the market may reject this level and pull back towards 110.85 and reassess from there. The market will be on its toes today due to the earlier news that the US military staged bombing drills with South Korea over the Korean Peninsula, and Russia and China has begun naval exercises ahead of a UN General Assembly meeting where North Korea's nuclear threat continues to remain extremely concerning. The spell of military drills came after Pyongyang fired its second mid-range ballistic missile over Japan on Friday, and the reclusive North conducted its 6th and most powerful nuclear test on the September the 3rd in defense of United Nations sanctions and other international pressures. So the markets could get a little bit jittery as we now approach the top side. Looking at the pound, overnight the market staged a modest retreat from the 136 handle after prices hit a low of 134.64 in front of the support of 134.35. Traders will be on their toes today as the market waits for Mark Carney, the Bank of England governor, who gives a speech at the IMF in Washington. Since the upbeat CPI number last week, the market is apparently convinced that a November rate hike is on the table for the UK. It is also noted that the MPC, also known as the Monetary Policy Committee, believed there would be a hike in the coming months. However, Bank of England Mark Carney was not convinced at the time when it was mentioned. Nevertheless, since the rebound of 131.80, the market has actually priced in a rate hike as it trades around this 136 region. Later this week, we have the UK Prime Minister Theresa May, who will deliver a Brexit speech in Italy on Friday. So do keep a close watch if you're trading a pound for Mark Carney's speech tonight. The yellow precious metal has remained weak since Friday's drop from 1,334 to a low this morning of 1,304. The market will be turning its attention to President Trump, as I mentioned earlier, who will address the United Nations in New York, and also concerns with the US military staging of bombing drills with South Korea will keep the market on its toes. At this stage, I do expect to see support hold from 12.99 and could see a recovery. However, beneath 99 leaves little support until 80.82. But I feel that the market will soon stage a recovery due to the fact some of the events that are coming up. So do be a little bit careful if you're trading from the short side. Silver also broke the trend recently, as you're aware, of $17.60 and now reaches its target of $17.20. We do need to see a recovery, otherwise $16.80 will be on the cards in the next 12 hours. But I'm not short down here. I think the market will rebound quite convincingly from this level if it's reached and look back towards the top side, coming in anywhere from $17.40 to $17.65. And to wrap up with oil, the market is still currently quite bullish and looking towards $52 a barrel as a potential target. Now it's reached its handle at $50. Any pullback looks for support from 49.5. So that wraps up my daily video. Thank you very much for joining me. And look out for the intraday report, and I hope you have a wonderful day that's ahead of you.